We've been thinking and giving you evidence over the last 3 years that the U.S. economy has been in a rolling recession, manufacturing negative for 3 years, small businesses suffering, low and middle income consumers suffering, even capital spending. I know the headlines are all about AI and power needs, but X those, we've seen a flattening out, if not a decline, in many capital spending sectors. So we now are looking at the early days of this Trump administration. Seems like a lot of drama and headlines, primarily about tariffs, but underneath, in terms of real policy moves, included some massive changes.
At ARK's latest update, Cathie Wood revealed what she calls an overlooked economic shift. New depreciation rules now let U.S. companies write off nearly everything, cutting the effective tax rate to about 10-12%. She says this could flip the U.S. from a rolling recession to a rolling recovery. Lower taxes mean higher returns and more global capital flowing in. Wood believes this will boost productivity and fuel growth without sparking inflation, especially as deregulation in AI and crypto accelerates innovation. Remaining bullish, Wood has been increasing her crypto and tech positions. She predicts explosive growth ahead and says the next phase of the crypto cycle could define the biggest market opportunities of 2025.
Hey, I am Maria with DailyDoseCrypto. Have you noticed that gold, silver, and Bitcoin have hit all-time highs recently? Is this a coincidence, or are smart investors onto something? The dollar is depreciating, inflation is eating up all of our cash, and the US national debt is through the roof, hitting new highs every day. That's why people are shifting to alternative assets like gold, silver, and Bitcoin. We at DailyDoseCrypto have partnered with ITrust Capital, your one-stop platform to buy and securely store 80-plus digital assets, including Bitcoin, gold, and silver to hedge your future against debasement. With over 200,000 accounts, 15 billion in transactions, and 11,000 plus positive reviews, they're helping real investors build long-term wealth with their tax advantage, IRA, and PCA, which is a premium custody account that supports the highest level of custody and security in the space. They do this all with institutional-grade custody through partners like Fidelity Digital, Fireblocks, and Coinbase Prime, keeping your assets secure while you can trade 24/7. Fees are just 1% per transactions with no monthly or annual costs. Getting started is simple. Sign up for free and fund an IRA or PCA today. You'll receive a $100 bonus and start growing your assets the smart way. Click the link below to open your account now and begin your journey toward generational wealth.
OB3, so the one big beautiful bill, I think the most important ones involve depreciation. And they are taking the effective corporate tax rate. The statutory tax rate is still 21%, but incorporating depreciation schedules, the new ones, for manufacturing facilities, equipment, domestic R&D, and software, the effective corporate tax rate has probably dropped into the 10 to 12% range, which makes it really the lowest in the world for any major economy. So we do believe that we're moving from a rolling recession into a rolling recovery. It's going to take a little time to catch fire. And we think that employment is a lagging indicator. So we're going to hear more bad news about employment for both cyclical reasons and because AI is limiting the job opportunities for especially new college graduates. But we do think that tax policy changes and critically deregulation everywhere. The edict from on high was deregulate, deregulate, deregulated, and we are seeing it all over the place, especially in healthcare and crypto, and even AI. The first executive order that President Trump rescinded was Biden's AI executive order, because we really do believe right now we're still in very early stages, the equivalent of 1995 in terms of the internet. We're in early stages as it relates to AI. There were some onerous regulations moving into policymaking, into the policymaking arena. Those will no longer happen. So we believe we're moving into a productivity-driven boom in activity. I think the plan was this, to the extent President Trump and team could control it, get all the bad news out early in this term. And as we move into the election campaign season for the midterms, have the economy move into a very strong expansion. So that's what we expect. And because it's productivity driven, we believe that the surprises will be on the low side of inflation expectations. So this is very much like the economy that Reaganomics unleashed in the 80s and 90s. And we think that this could be a much more powerful version of that. So we're very excited about the outlook for the economy, innovation, and the markets generally.
I'm going to come back with one more just on the macro side here too. We're hearing a lot of talk about just US dollar weakening and gold and Bitcoin and how that relates, gold hitting new highs. Can you just give us your kind of quick take on that?
Yes, it's very interesting. I just took a trip around the world, actually, and I saw the negative sentiment about the U.S., mostly because of the headlines, tariffs. They've really colored the point of view of investors in the rest of the world. And, I heard dollar weakness, a familiar refrain abroad. First half of the year, weakest dollar since, by some metrics, 1973. And I gave them the outlook that I just described here, and actually took the opposite point of view. I think the dollar, and this happened during Reaganomics as well, I think the dollar is going to go up. And that's because I believe, given the policies that are being put in place, that have been put in place, that the returns on invested capital in the U.S. are going to go up relative to the rest of the world, and that foreign direct investment will increase substantially. We think is going to be a surprise. One of the reasons gold has been going up is this narrative. The dollar is debasing, and so that's a boon for gold and for Bitcoin. Well, if the dollar becomes as good as gold, and this is an expression that Art Laffer, you've heard me talk about Art and the Laffer curve. He's also a monetary expert. And as we've been discussing this scenario with him, he brought this framing back, which is, well, if the dollar becomes as good as gold, then why hold gold?
Cathie Wood calls it a modern-day version of Reaganomics, but bigger. She believes a new boom is forming, powered by AI, robotics, and blockchain, while others focus on tariffs and deficit. Q4 2025, she says, could be the turning point few expect. Wood predicts over 1.1 billion crypto wallets by the end of 2025, marking the fastest wealth growth in history. Her research points to one truth: liquidity drives markets, and crypto will be the top-performing asset as prices move sharply higher.
So we shall see. Gold did go down. It peaked in the early 80s, actually 1980, at $800, and went down over the next 2 years to $300 with that kind of dollar strength. So, and actually the dollar strength did not end until 1985. The dollar actually doubled from its low to its peak in 1985, at which point the rest of the world was suffering. There was a huge amount of dollar-denominated debt in countries whose currencies were depreciating rapidly, so debt service became onerous, if not impossible. And we ended up with a worldwide easing effectively, with the US providing more dollars into the global ecosystem. So I think we're going to be back to the future on that as well. As far as Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin is, sure, it's digital gold, but as we've said many times, it is also a technology, and it's the first of its kind in a new asset class. That paper, I believe, is still on our website. Maybe we can put it into this webinar. But first of its kind in a new asset class, and institutions have just started tiptoeing into it.
Cathie Wood says a quiet economic shift is underway that could spark the next productivity boom. With new tax incentives driving investments in AI, automation, and biotech, She believes Q4 2025 could mark the start of a powerful innovation cycle, similar to the internet boom of the 1990s. She also sees crypto gaining massive momentum as institutional money flows in and new laws take shape. Wood expects Bitcoin and DeFi to redefine global finance in the coming years. Do you agree with her outlook? And how do you think innovation and crypto will shape the economy in 2025? Share your thoughts below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.